All right. Welcome back to Curbside College, episode 5. Damn, already. If you've seen one of my past episodes, you've seen where I talked about a term called pod fade, where people kind of like, they start a podcast and they don't reach 5 episodes or more. I think that was like 90% of podcasts that stop after episode 5. So I'm already a success if you're thinking like that. And I'm thinking like that because every step count for me. But anyway, man, I had a long week, man. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to record today. It's Sunday. You know, I got a lot going on with myself and my work and my family and things like that. And it's hard to squeeze everything you need to do in a weekend. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to take a step towards your goals. It's hard to do things in just 2 days. You know what I'm saying? Because I work a 9 to 5 still. I'm funding my whole life with that and a few other things. But I really didn't want to come in today, man. I was tired, man. I didn't want to record today. But you know what? I thought to myself, I said, man, I made a commitment to myself. I made a commitment to what I want my future to look like, and I made a commitment to the brand that I want to build. You know what I'm saying? So, and I've pushed past being tired for things that was far less important than my future. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm like, damn, just get up and go do what you need to do and make the commitment to yourself, and keep the commitment to yourself. I'm gonna keep this episode kind of short today because I'm tired, but we're gonna get into some things. You know what I'm saying? But one of the things that I thought about when I was thinking about not coming in and keeping the commitment to myself is you learn a lot about yourself when you doing stuff outside of the normal things or outside of the things that you need to do. You know, we need to earn money, we need to do things, but the need to do things motivate you easily to get up and do them. But things you don't need to do is you got to have a certain kind of willpower and motivation to self to get those things done. And that's what I went through today. Actually, this morning, I was laying in a bed and I'm looking up at the ceiling. I'm like, man, I just don't want to get up today. I don't want to do nothing. I want to turn my phone off. I didn't want to do shit. You know what I'm saying? But once I think about one thing I thought about was, you know, I've been getting some good feedback on this show. You know what I'm saying? So I wanna kind of keep that momentum rolling. I kind of want to deliver every week, and I made a commitment to myself, man. You know what I'm saying? You learn a lot about yourself when you're doing something like that. You know what I'm saying? You see where your weak points at, you see where your strong points at. You start to notice little habits about yourself, you know, that kind of got something to do with the success you got in all areas of your life. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, man, just get up and go and do this shit, man. And I started thinking, and then after I start thinking about, you know, myself and the traits that I've been finding in myself while pursuing this thing here, I started thinking about what type of stuff motivate me to get up and do it. You know what I'm saying? Like things motivate me like having a more fulfilling life, you know what I'm saying? Having reason to get up out the bed every day just beside going to work and paying bills cuz that's one of the things that a lot of us pent down behind is getting up, going to work, paying bills. And the more you think about that, the more you see that the goddamn system ain't set up for you to be outside of that kind of system. You know what I'm saying? That shit is a bunk. You know what I'm saying? And I'm starting to hear a lot of people wake up to that just to get up and go to work to pay bills. Everything costs. Paying for food that God put on the world for free. When I heard a dude say that, I said, man, you goddamn right, man. We paying for shit that grow for free. But I ain't finna dive into that. But anyway, yeah, I want to live. I'm pursuing this thing here to have a more fulfilling life. You know what I'm saying? I would like some prosperity along with that. You know what I'm saying? Um, and another thing that was real important to me, I want to be a better example for my kids. I need to be an example for them because the future is going to be a lot different, and they need to know that you can accomplish things outside of getting up, going to work every day. You know what I'm saying? My kid. I got a little creative bunch, man. They all got their own personalities, man, and they already their own people. And I see the traits in them. I see the traits in them they got for me. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta be the inspiration behind that. I gotta be the person that they see creating and knowing that they could live a life that's worth living outside of going to work. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things that really got me up out the bed this morning. That's one of the things that really motivated me is them. You know what I'm saying? But and a man's legacy is with his kids. I feel like, I feel like a man's legacy is with his kids. If you could set a great example and raise decent human beings, I think you did a good job. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you're trying to do, Raise decent human beings and set a good example for them kids to let them know that they could create in this world and they could live a life that they want to live and it ain't based around money. We doing a good job. I feel like we're doing a good job. You know what I'm saying? Because nowadays these kids is up under a lot of pressure of materialism. You know what I'm saying? These kids, they want this, they want that. They don't have a concept. They don't have a concept of save, or they don't have a concept of, just the kind. They don't have a concept of the respect we grew up with for work or for money or for family. It's something about this day and age where they just losing connection to all that. You know what I'm saying? And materialism is at an all-time high with these youngsters right now. I mean, it was for us too, but we was a little bit more grounded, I think, growing up. We was a little bit more grounded with our family and the things that we had going on. But these kids nowadays, they got material, they materialistic more than I ever seen. You know what I'm saying? And the problem that I see with it is that they really, and some adults got this problem too. The problem that I see with that is that we associate a lot of this material stuff with our identity. You know what I'm saying? If we don't got this, we don't feel like we this. If we don't got that, we don't feel like we that. And that's not conducive to prosperity. That's not conducive to success. Because all that materialistic stuff don't make you who you are. It's character. You got to build a decent character. You know what I'm saying? You could be flat broke with nothing, have a decent character, and people love you. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta unattach ourselves from this. We got to unattach our identity from this materialism, man. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no reason if we don't have a lot of material things, there's no reason for us to feel inadequate about ourselves. You know what I'm saying? It's no reason for us to feel inadequate about that because it's people that's really financial well off that don't have none of the things that we yearn for. It's a lot of I know a few people that don't even care about cars, they don't care about jewelry, they don't care about clothes, they care about their time. They care about their time. And once I start noticing the difference between having a lot of material things and having your time back, it's a huge difference, a huge mindset shift behind that. And it's liberating. I'm gonna tell you, once you start to buy your time back, instead of paying 10,000 or 5,000 for a piece of jewelry, oh man, it's liberating. You could take that 5,000, drop it somewhere, and you could get paid off of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go one of these episodes. We gonna go into how you use money to buy money, but I'm not gonna get into that right now. But feeling inadequate because you don't got materialistic things is a concept that we gotta move far away from. Excuse me. We gotta move far away from that. You know what I'm saying? But because if you think about it, does having material things make you who you feel like you are? I'm gonna ask this again. Does having material items make you who you think you are? I don't think it do. I think character make you who you are. And I'm not saying that having nice things is not cool, but have good character first. You know what I mean? Have good character first. Be a person of morality first before you prioritize having good things because some people, I mean, shallow people will remember you for having a lot of things going, but people going to technically remember you for who you are, for who you were once you out of here. You know what I'm saying? So if we don't start detaching ourselves from this materialism, we going to be, in a worse place than we are now because we already in a bad place, which is the point of this show, to bring this type of shit to life. But if we don't start detaching ourselves from that shit, it's going to be a problem. You know what I'm saying? But even though that concept is very important, we got to start understanding why we attach to materialism like that. You know what I'm saying? Why are we attached to things? Why do we attach material things to our identity? You know what I'm saying? And I start to doing a little research. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like to do. And as an African American black man, I got a little Taino in me too, but I'm majority West African. But I started to look up our ancestors. Our ancestors was people of means. You know what I'm saying? Expensive cloth, gold. You know what I'm saying? Monuments, palaces. You know what I'm saying? It's something about our history that's being leveraged against us. You know what I'm saying? There's something in our identity that's being leveraged against us for control. That's what I feel. I'm not going to dive too much into that, but I think our history The system knows something about our history that's being leveraged against us for control. That's what I think. You know what I'm saying? That's what my research got me to think. Because our ancestors, man, they was draped in fine fabrics, gold, you know what I'm saying? Velvet. You know what I'm saying? Velvet. If you go back and look at all our African American, our African ancestors, and even I got a little bit of Taino in me. So even our Spanish brothers in Central America, they was people of means. You know what I'm saying? They was people of means. So it's something about this system that we living in that understand what type of people we were, and it's being leveraged against us for control. You know what I'm saying? Getting up, going to work, trying to afford all these expensive things, paying bills, you know what I'm saying? It's keeping us on a hamster wheel. You know what I'm saying? It's something about our DNA that they don't know that we love this, that we love stuff like that. It's something in our DNA that we connected to gold and riches, man. That's what I feel like, and it's being leveraged against us. So we got to start understanding that. We have to start understanding that we being, systematically driven into a certain type of lifestyle. Because if we don't understand that, we ain't going to never be able to break free and feel true freedom. When I get behind this mic, I feel true freedom. I feel a little bit of freedom. Because I created this. This value that I'm bringing to the world. And I'm trying to help my people understand that we on a path to goddamn, what's the word? Poorness. Shit, poor. You know what I'm saying? It's getting the wealth gap getting wider and wider, and we steady chasing material things. And let me reiterate, I'm not saying that material things ain't good to have. But we got to start understanding the things that come before having material things, the work, the dedication, the character, the morality. You know what I'm saying? Them the type of things that we got to start having before we even think about having a lot of material things. Because I'm going to tell you one thing right now, what I'm learning. We ain't all ready to have that big old bag on us. You know what I'm saying? Everybody say they want to be a millionaire, billionaire, a couple million, this and that, but is you ready and disciplined to have that kind of responsibility? You know what I'm saying? Heavy is the head that wear the crown, man. So you got to be ready for that. And even if you ain't educating yourself on the systems that we living in right now, you're not gonna never be ready for that big old bag, let alone get it on your own, or have somebody even want to pay you. You know what I'm saying? And we in the information age now. We got to start getting our information and conveying it to our people so we can be together and start building stuff on our own. Because if we don't, we in deep shit. That materialism got us by the balls. No, sorry, ladies, by the tits or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We gotta understand that shit, man. I was looking at some old. I'm digging into my ancestral history because in America we don't really got no culture like we think. So what you do is you find out where you come from in the world and you start digging into them. That's what I did. And when I started looking back, I mean, these people was damn near gods. I'm talking about long silk cloths and gold chains, sitting on gold chairs and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's something about that materialism that's connected to us genetically. And we got to start understanding that. Because if we don't, we're going to have a big problem. We're going to have a big problem. And that's the point of me being here, man, to bring shit to light like that. You know what I'm saying? I told you I'm going to keep this episode short because I'm a little tired, but materialism, man, we got to get that shit under control because it's keeping us in chains. It's called golden handcuffs. If we don't get that materialism under control, we're going to always be under these golden handcuffs, chained to some job that we think paying us a lot because it's providing a cool life. The real life is behind the shit that I'm doing here right now, creating value for people. You know what I'm saying? Trying to change your community, being a damn example for your kids. That's real life. Prosperity. That's real prosperity. The money come with the game, from what I understand. You know, I got a mentor. He always say the money come with the game. Play the game. And how well you get and how good you get at the game is how big your bag gonna get. You know what I'm saying? But you can't play the game if you don't understand the game. You don't understand the system you in and how it's built to suppress or how it's built to give advantages in certain areas. You got to learn that. If you don't, it's bad. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna stop here today because I'm tired, and you know, I don't want to use too much energy. I'm gonna go back and lay down, but you know, curbside college is what we do, and this is what I'm doing it for, to bring shit to light like this, man. You know, and yeah, we gonna do it like